crucial and tragic moment in our Philippine history, depicting the assassination of Andres Bonifacio. It highlights the treacherous attack against him, showing the brutality of his execution. This event is significant as Bonifacio, a key revolutionary leader, was betrayed by fellow Filipinos, making a dark chapter in the struggle for independence. Who is Andres Bonifacio? Andres Bonifacio was a Filipino revolutionary leader and the founder of the KKK, a secret society that initiated the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. He is often called the father of the Philippine Revolution. Unlike other leaders of his time, Bonifacio came from a humble background and was largely self-educated. His deep patriotism and determination to free the Philippines from Spanish oppression led him to organize and lead revolts across the country. His controversial execution in 1897, ordered by rival revolutionary leader, highlights the internal struggles within the revolution but also cements his legacy as a tragic yet heroic figure. His leadership in the revolution demonstrated the power of ordinary Filipinos in shaping the country's history, inspiring future generations to fight for freedom and justice. How and why did Andres Bonifacio die? Andres Bonifacio's death is rooted in the internal conflicts within the Philippine revolutionary movement. As the revolution progressed, a faction led by Emilio Aguinaldo gained dominance, viewing Bonifacio as a political rival. Tensions escalated when Bonifacio was accused of undermining the newly formed revolutionary government following a trial that many historians considered unjust. He and his brother Procopio was sentenced to death. Here are some of the accounts of how Andres Bonifacio was executed.
First account is from Francisco Carrion, a revolutionary leader, close companion of Andres Bonifacio in the Katipunan, a Filipino general in the Philippine Revolution against Spain and in the Philippine-American War. According to him in this account, as the first light of dawn appeared, a guard stationed high in a tree spotted someone approaching. Ciriaco Bonifacio, who is the brother of Andres Bonifacio, instructed the guard to check if it was safe. When the figures drew closer, Ciriaco realized that they were the same soldiers from the previous day. The guard who had been waiting for the signal to inform their camp felt betrayed and fired his gun in anger. The gunshot caused panic and confusion. Someone in the guard post was hit and the situation quickly escalated into chaos. During the chaos, Ciriaco Bonifacio was attacked and was killed. The gunfire alerted the whole town, causing a widespread of panic and confusion. Andres Bonifacio, upon hearing the commotion, he ordered everyone to remain calm and reassured them that the attackers were their comrades. He then went out and began to cross the stone bridge. On the bridge, Coronel Paua opened fire on Andres Bonifacio, and he was hit in the left arm by the gunfire. Coronel Intong also attacked Andres Bonifacio with a long spear, stabbing him to the ground. Andres Bonifacio was then attacked by a group of attackers, including his own brother Procopio. Even the soldiers who were supposed to be allies were overpowered and tied up. Coronel Intong then led an attack on the supreme leader Andres Bonifacio's family home, ransacking it and destroying even the smallest coffee grinder. And it was said that all of this horrific scene unfolded before the helpless Andres Bonifacio.
The second account is from Santiago Alvarez. Santiago Alvarez is a general, honorary president, and founder of the first directorate of the Nacionalista Party. As Colonel Banzaon and Pawas were approaching, Colonel Banzaon quickly took out his revolver and shot Bonifacio. The bullet was able to hit his left arm. Then, Pawas tried to finish off Bonifacio by stabbing him on the right side of his neck, which bled profusely. The bleeding was so severe that Bonifacio was disoriented. This shows how Bonifacio's death was a tragic betrayal. His writing is a primary source because he was there when the incident happened.
Gregoria de Jesus, widely known as the Mother of the Katipunan, played a pivotal role in the Philippine revolutions against Spanish colonial rule. Her life was marked by bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication to the cause of freedom. In 1893, at the age of 18, Gregoria married Andres Bonifacio, the founder of Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society. Bonifacio fell deeply in love with her, and their union became a partnership rooted in shared ideals and patriotism. As the mother of the Katipunan, Gregoria took on significant responsibilities within the revolutionary movement. She risked her life to safeguard the Katipunans' secret documents, flags, and weapons. She also cared for their injured members, demonstrating her courage and compassion. Her contributions were vital to the survival and success of the Katipunan, earning her place of honor in the Philippine history. The tragic execution of Andres Bonifacio in 1897 left Gregoria devastated. She believed he was killed shortly after his capture by rival factions within the revolutionary movement. At the time, Gregoria was pregnant and forced into hiding to protect herself and her unborn child. Historical accounts also suggest that during this period of vulnerability, Gregoria may have endured further hardships, including the possibility of sexual violence by soldiers or other individuals who took advantage of her situations. These claims, while not explicitly documented in her writings, highlighting the immense suffering she faced. Gregoria channeled her profound love and sorrow into poetry. Her writings reflect her deep grief over Bonifacio's death, as well as her enduring love for him. One of her poems vividly captures her emotional turmoil and pain of losing her beloved husband. In 1898, Gregoria remarried Julio Nakpil, another prominent Katipunan leader. Together, they built a family and had 7 children, adding to the one child she had with Bonifacio. Despite the challenges she faced, Gregoria remained steadfast in her commitment to preserving the memory of the Katipunan and its heroes. She spent her later years sharing her experiences and ensuring that the sacrifices of Bonifacio and other revolutionaries were not forgotten. Gregoria lived a long life. She died on the 15th of March 1943 from a heart disease. She was 68 years old and was buried at the La Loma Cemetery.
Si Mariano Salvador ay isang kasapi ng magdiwang na pangkat ng Katipunan na siyang isa sa mga naging saksi sa pagkamatay ni Gat Andres Bonifacio. Ayon sa kanyang salaysay, kamit pinagtalakupan at inabansina, at binaril ng Koronel Intong ang Supremo at tinamaan sa brasong kanan at sa tiyan. Ang ginawa nila ay sinaksak ng bukawing matulis sa lalamunan, ay siyang nagpakabulagta sa tabi ng isang kanal. At ang Gat Siriaco, pinagsabayan nilang binaril at ang tamay sa dibdib at sa ulo, at nahandusay sa gitna ng daan ng bayo ng Limbon. Salungat sa mga salaysay ni na Francisco Carrion, Santiago Alvarez at Antonio Abad, ang pahayag na ito ni Mariano Salvador ay tumutukoy na ang tunay na pumatay kay Gat Andres Bonifacio ay ang Coronel Intong at hindi sina Coronel Pawa at Banson.
According to Antonio Abad's account, Bonifacio was brutally attacked and stabbed in the neck by a soldier named Pawa, marking one of the darkest betrayals in the Philippine history. His execution symbolized the eternal divisions within the revolution and the tragic downfall of its most passionate leaders. Colonel Bonzon, Pawa, and their troops arrived unexpectedly. Pawa emerged suddenly from the ranks and attacked Bonifacio. Without warning, Pawa stabbed Bonifacio in the neck. The force of the stab caused the blade to pierce through Bonifacio's neck and into the ground. At the same time, Colonel Intong's soldiers fired their weapons. The event highlights the violent betrayal of Bonifacio by fellow Filipinos.
Our account begins in March of 1897 at the Tejeras Convention, a crucial assembly meant to establish a unified revolutionary government. Andres Bonifacio, the Supremo of the Katipunan, attended with hopes of solidifying their fight against Spanish rule. However, the convention's outcome was far from what he expected. Bonifacio believed the elections were rigged by the Magdalo faction, led by Emilio Aguinaldo, leading to a significant split within the Katipunan. Bonifacio's deep dissatisfaction with the perceived injustices at the convention propelled him to take decisive actions that escalated tensions with Aguinaldo's faction. In the wake of these rising tensions, Bonifacio and his loyal supporters drafted the Naik Military Agreement, a bold move to consolidate power. This declaration stated that all military forces should be unified under the command of Pio del Pilar, or otherwise those who resisted would face charges of treason.
This agreement directly challenged Aguinaldo's authority, further straining the fragile unity among the revolutionaries. Following the issuance of the Naik military agreement, Bonifacio established a camp near Indang, accompanied by approximately 1,000 of his dedicated men. As reports of Bonifacio's actions reached Aguinaldo, he felt compelled to respond. Determined to maintain control and power, Aguinaldo ordered the arrest of Bonifacio. A skirmish broke out during the arrest attempt, resulting in Bonifacio being wounded. Despite his resistance, he and his brother, Procopio, were ultimately captured by Aguinaldo's forces. The captured brothers were brought before a military court in Maragondon, Cavite, facing charges of sedition and treason against the Katipunan. During the trial, several witnesses testified against Andres Bonifacio, accusing him of undermining the revolutionary movement and plotting against Aguinaldo. Bonifacio, standing in his defense, argued passionately that he was fighting for the same cause as Aguinaldo. But despite his compelling defense, both he and his brother were found guilty of the charges and were sentenced to death by the military court. Initially, Emilio Aguinaldo was deeply conflicted about executing the death sentence. He recognized Bonifacio's significant contributions to the revolution and understood the weight of such an irreversible decision. Aguinaldo decided to commute the death sentence to banishment, hoping to maintain a semblance of unity within the revolutionary ranks. However, several of Aguinaldo's generals and advisers were adamant that Bonifacio's continued influence posed a threat to the revolutionary movement's cohesion and success. After much persuasion, Aguinaldo was convinced that the execution was necessary to ensure national unity and the revolution's triumph. And so, in a solemn and remote location, the execution of Andres Bonifacio and his brother Procopio were carried out via gunfire.